They're screwing the entire country. And mate, we're just sitting here copying it like mugs. No, seriously. You've been lied to, manipulated, and stitched up by a voting system so bloody broken, it makes the NBN rollout look like a flawless masterpiece. This ain't just a rant. This is a full-blown expose. Strap in, because what I'm about to say is going to get a lot of people frothing at the mouth, but someone's got to say it. Here's the raw truth. Australia is no longer a democracy the way we reckon it should be. Why? Because 2/3 of voters didn't even vote for this government. Yet here we are, ruled by a hard-left Labor government, backed up by the Greens, who are basically eco-Marxists in Birkenstocks. And we let it happen. Nah, scratch that. The system forced it on us. That's what happens when you've got an idiotic, compulsory preferential voting system that rewards the slickest spin doctors and punishes plain common sense. Before we dive into this Labor Greens power grab, where 2/3 of Aussies didn't vote for this socialist mess, free speech is getting muzzled, and Albo's living like a king on your dime. Smash that like button like you're slapping another net zero tax off your power bill. Subscribe if you're done being played by Canberra clowns, and don't forget to snag the Albo-lutely clueless tee. Links in the description, before they ban merch too. Let's be clear, this isn't just about politics. This is about power. Dangerous power. The type of power that doesn't reflect the will of the people, but twists it to serve its own grubby little agenda. Think I'm overcooking it? Labor didn't just win, they snatched total control. All while most Aussies were either voting out of habit or couldn't be stuffed. And now, we're stuck with a government most of us didn't pick, writing the rules and changing the game. Want to know what that means? We're heading straight down the gurgler. Economy? Poof. Down it goes. We're already the country with the largest bloated public sector in the developed world. That's not a badge of honor. That's a bloody liability. A giant parasite leeching off innovation and enterprise like a tick on a kangaroo's backside. And guess who pays for all the red, green, and black tape they pile on? That's right, you, the taxpayer. Your super, your investments, maybe even your home. All up for grabs. And just wait till the net zero madness kicks in harder. Under Labor and the Greens, every household will feel the squeeze. Higher power bills, job losses, rising taxes, all wrapped up in a smug climate justice bill. Meanwhile, they'll be sipping wine in Canberra, patting each other on the back for saving the world, while you decide whether to heat your house or fill the tank. Oh, and don't think you can speak up about any of this. Nah, mate. Welcome to Censorship Central. The minute you call this mob out, they slap a misinformation label on your forehead quicker than a mozzie at a Barbie. Free speech? That's dead. The government wants to be your only source of truth, just like New Zealand's socialist darling said during COVID. Creepy, right? And it gets worse. The radical identity politics brigade? They're running the show now. We're talking about full-blown cultural warfare, gender ideology in schools, colonial guilt shoved down our throats, indigenous bureaucracies that help no one but themselves, and climate alarmism that treats skepticism like heresy. Good luck celebrating Australia Day in 5 years without being called a racist colonizer. This isn't just theory. Look at Victoria. Dan Andrews turned Melbourne into a dystopian circus, and now Albo wants to roll out the red carpet for the same crap nationwide. Skyrocketing crime, social decay, kids being taught that maths is racist and history is evil. And when you dare question it, guess what? You're labelled far right. Can't make this stuff up. And then there's the ultimate rort, the voice to Parliament. A bloated, bureaucratic beast designed to virtue signal to the elites while doing sweet bugger all for remote communities. It's not about truth-telling, it's about power-grabbing, white guilt milking, and locking in lifetime sinecures for the woke class. And don't think you're going to vote it down, because they'll just try again, and again, until you give up. But let's not forget the immigration free-for-all. The borders? Practically optional at this point. More people pouring in, more congestion, more strain on housing, health, and jobs. Why? Because the more voters they can stack into the right electorates, the tighter their grip on power gets. It's not compassion, it's cold, hard electoral engineering. And if you reckon any of this sounds too full on, just remember, they're not even hiding it anymore. The media, the ABC, all the trusted outlets, they're cheering it on. Anyone who disagrees? Fair game for cancel culture. You'll be pilloried for even daring to question this brave new socialist wonderland. So what's the play here? Why say all this? Because we're at a bloody crossroads, mate. We either wake up and start pushing back, or we kiss goodbye to the Aussie way of life we've known and loved. The freedom, the grit, the fairness, the common bloody sense. It's all on the chopping block. You can laugh this off. Call it a rant. But deep down, you know I'm not talking rubbish. You've felt it. At the servo, in the grocery store, at the school gate, in the pit of your gut, when you hear yet another government announcement wrapped in soft language, but packed with hard consequences. This is the part where most people tap out. But if you're still watching, you're the kind of person who gives a damn. And we need more of you. We need to stop swallowing the spin and start asking the questions. Real questions. Not the crap served up by latte-sipping pundits who've never worked a day outside of media or politics. What happened to us? When did we become so complacent? So bloody polite that we let ideologues run the show while we nod along like it's all part of the plan? This is not the Australia I grew up in. And if we don't change course, it won't be the Australia our kids inherit. So here's your challenge. Share this. Talk about it. Argue. Debate. Wake up your mates. Hell, wake up your nan. Because nothing changes if we don't speak up. And if we stay silent, we're complicit. You don't have to agree with everything I've said, but if you felt even one thing ring true, then you know deep down, this country is in trouble. If you're fed up with watching Australia turn into a socialist reality show, hit that like button like you're booting Albo out of your lounge room. Subscribe if you're done choking on spin while the elites sip lattes on your tax dollars. And grab the Albo-lutely clueless merch. Because let's face it, that slogan's doing more heavy lifting than half the cabinet. Stick around, legends. This one's going to hit harder than a blackout in Chris Bowen's net zero fantasy.